Hello, my name is Richard Van Noort, and I'm going to give you a tutorial about how to use the knife tool in Adobe Illustrator. You can see I already have Illustrator opened up here, and I need to create a new file. I'm just going to select my default, which is my favorite way of starting up Illustrator. If you're in a classroom setting, just follow your instructor's instructions. Okay, that's a weird statement. Try saying that 10 times fast. Follow your instructor's direction on how to set up your document, okay? So, knife tool. The knife tool is supposed to appear underneath the eraser tool here in your menu. But you see under the eraser tool I have the scissors tool, and there's no knife tool. This is the way Adobe comes. You start out this way. But this is what is called the basic tool menu. And you don't want this. What you want to do is get the advanced tool menu, and you get there by clicking these three dots at the very bottom. Then you click this little hamburger icon at the very top right corner. And you can see you can choose between basic and advanced. You really need to have advanced because that puts all of the tools at your fingertips. Now as I click this, watch the toolbar over here. You'll see it's going to grow. See how much bigger it got? Okay, this is the advanced toolbar here. Now if I open up the menu under my eraser tool again, you see the scissors tool is still there, but now there's another option, the knife tool. Okay, the knife tool looks like kind of like a saw. The slice tool, which is often confused with it, looks like an X-Acto knife. Okay, they're very different tools and very different functions. Okay, they behave nothing like each other. Not even close. Okay, now in this section you'll see the shaper tool. By default, that's the way it'll look when you get there. And underneath you have various tools here, but I want the pencil tool. So I'm going to select that, and now I have a pencil here. So I'm going to create a stroke for my line. I'm going to give it a color, and I'm going to give it a really fat stroke so you can see everything that's going on. Not that big. See everything that's going on while I'm working on this for you. So I'm just going to draw a line here. And if I grab my knife tool and I try to slice this, you'll notice nothing happens. I can do this all day and all night and nothing will ever happen. The reason why is because this is a line segment. If I select this now, you can see this line that goes right through the middle of there, and that's showing you that it's actually a line with a cosmetic dressing that's called a stroke. That's what it's showing you here. If I go back to my pencil tool, I can draw something. We're going to call that a circle. It's not a circle, but we're going to call it a circle. And you see that's a closed shape. Okay? You have to understand the difference between a shape and a line segment. Okay? So a line segment is open-ended like this. A shape is a very different animal, okay? And it behaves differently. The knife tool cuts shapes. First I need to select it, grab my knife tool, and I can cut this shape, and I can take this apart, and I can do whatever I want with my two individual shapes. Okay, so this is a shape, and over here this is a line segment. Okay, knife tool does not work on line segments. You have to have a shape. So I'm going to select these, and I'm going to delete them because I'm done with those now. And I'm going, with my main selection tool, I'm going to use the Alt and drag function to create a copy, because I want to still be able to show you the difference when I'm done. Okay, now if I let go of the option, the Alt button first, I lose my original. Okay, so I'm going to press and hold Alt, drag, and I'm going to release the mouse, and then I'm going to release Alt, and I now have a copy of my object here. This object is called a line segment, as I said. Okay, so this is going to be the one that we're going to work on, and this one's going to be our reference. Okay, so we need this line segment to be in a shape, and there's a simple tool in Illustrator that allows us to do that, and it's called expand. Okay, and what expand does is it's going to take this line that's inside of here, and it's going to expand it out to the edges and have it be an enclosed shape. And this stroke that I have inside is going to get turned into a fill, because you're going to have an enclosed shape and you're going to have a fill inside. So here's what you do. Come up to the object menu up in the very top toolbar, and you select expand. Now you're going to get some options here. 99.999% of the time you don't want to touch those options. Just click OK. Now you see that line that was inside of there disappeared. If I select this one, see how, remember we had the line, and if we select this one, there's no line in the middle. Where did it go? Well, if we switch to the direct select tool, we can see where the line went. You can see all the anchor points that were created inside of this, and it now has a fill. See how it has a fill, and it does not have a stroke. The stroke went away. It became the fill. Okay, stayed the same color, the attributes stayed the same, but it just became a fill instead of a stroke. Okay, now I want you to guide your attention over to the layer panel over here on the right hand side, and I'm going to open up my layer. Now see, I have a group and a path. Okay, if I select the group, I have the object that I turned into a shape. If I select the path, I have the line segment over here. Let me go back to my main selection tool. Okay, and that's a nifty little trick if you ever want to get to exactly what you want and you forget which object it, like these guys look the same on the exterior, right? But they're very different. See, this guy's in a group and this guy's not. Okay, so we're going to select the one that's in a group, and we don't really want a group. That just makes it hard to manipulate your objects later. Okay, so we're going to select this item, and we know it's selected because the blue dot is on that layer in, or that object in our layer. Okay, so we're going to go back to our object menu up here in the very top, and we're going to select ungroup. Okay, ungroup. Okay, now they both say path, right? But we know that this one is our object because, or this one is our shape because it has a fill. If I select this one, it has a stroke, okay, because this is a line segment. This one is our shape, okay. So now because we have a shape over here and it's, you know, easily accessible and I have it selected, I can grab my knife tool now and I can cut this shape. Okay, quick and simple, and you can see the line in between there that's delineating that this is a separate shape. And then I can grab my select tool. Now because these are both halves are selected, they'll move together, right? So we click off somewhere where there's nothing in our document and it unselects it. Now if I select again, I can get one half or the other. Okay? And then I can grab that half and I can drag it away, and you can tell that it's now officially two separate objects. Now you can rotate this guy and do whatever you want with it. If I can get it lined up here. That's terrible. Nudge it over a little bit. Still terrible. Nudge it over a little more. I'm using my arrow keys to do that, by the way. We're getting closer. Nudge it over a tiny bit more. That's a little too far. So the adjustments are too big. So I'm going to zoom in to make the adjustments be smaller. And I'm going to get these guys lined up well. Okay. So when I unselect it and I zoom out, I'm going to hold Alt and use my mouse wheel and zoom out. Now it looks like it's one object, but we know that it's actually two. Okay, now we don't need this guy anymore. His purpose has been served. So we have our separate objects here. And we know that if we select one and we grab our knife tool, we can slice it again and get our direct select tool, or our regular selection tool rather, sorry. This is regular selection, this is direct selection. Regular selection tool, click somewhere in open space to deselect, then you can grab your separate elements. Okay, so quick recap. Make sure your toolbar over here on the left, make sure that's in the advanced mode, and you do that by clicking the three dots, hit the little hamburger icon in the very top corner, and you can select basic or advanced. You want to have advanced toolbar selected. Okay? Then your knife tool is going to be hiding under the eraser tool. Okay? Important to know where it is. So if you see the eraser tool, scissor tool, knife tool, those are in the same group. Okay? So we can select our knife, and using our selection tool, our regular selection tool, we can select an object as long as it's not a line segment. The knife tool does not work on line segments, it works on shapes. Okay, very important. And we can slice our shape with the knife tool, and then we can select an individual element and separate it out. And that's how you use the knife tool. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.